Hi everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and today we are on day 77. I'm so glad you're here and I hope you're having a good day. We are going to be reading out of Exodus chapter 27, Proverbs chapter 9, Acts chapter 18, and Psalm chapter 53. So let's get started with Exodus chapter 27. We're still working on the altar, and let's see how God wants to see it. Here we go. You shall make the altar of acacia wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar shall be square. Its height shall be 3 cubits. You shall make its horns on its 4 corners. Its horns shall be of one piece with it. You shall overlay it with bronze. You shall make its pots to take away the ashes, and its shovels, its basins, its meat hooks, and its fire pans. You shall make all its vessels of bronze. You shall make a grating for it of network of bronze. On the net you shall make 4 bronze rings in its 4 corners. You shall put it under the ledge around the altar beneath, that the net may reach halfway up the altar. You shall make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with bronze. Its poles shall be put into the rings, and the poles shall be on the 2 sides of the altar when carrying it. You shall make it hollow with planks. They shall make it as it has been shown to you on the mountain. You shall make the court of the tabernacle. For the south side, southward, there shall be hangings for the court of fine twined linen, 100 cubits long for one side. Its pillars shall be 20, and their sockets 20, of bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets. I'm not a sewer. I don't know. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets shall be of silver. Likewise, for the length of the north side, there shall be hangings 100 cubits long, and its pillars 20, and their sockets 20, of bronze, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. For the width of the court on the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10. The width of the court on the east side, eastward, shall be 50 cubits. The hangings for the one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. For the other side shall be hangings of 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. For the gate of the court shall be a screen of 20 cubits, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, the work of the embroiderer. Their pillars 4, and their sockets 4. All the pillars of the court around shall be filleted with silver, their hooks of silver, and their sockets of bronze. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the width 50 throughout, and the height 5 cubits, of fine twined linen, and their sockets of bronze. All the instruments of the tabernacle in all its service, and all its pins, and all the pins of the court, shall be of bronze. You shall command the children of Israel that they bring to you pure olive oil beaten for the light, to cause a lamp to burn continually. In the tent of the meeting outside, the veil which is before the covenant, Aaron and his sons shall keep it in order from evening to morning before Yahweh. It shall be a statute forever throughout their generations on the behalf of the children of Israel. My goodness, it sounds so beautiful. And I don't know if you are aware of this. You probably are. But if you just go onto YouTube, they actually have somebody that did like a digital construction of what the tabernacle would have looked like. So everything we just read, you can watch it being built. It's so cool. If you like that kind of thing, it's really, really cool. So Proverbs chapter 9. One day I might be smart enough to learn how to link things, but I've tried in the past and I have no idea how to link stuff. So Proverbs chapter 9, here we go. Wisdom has built her house. She has carved out her 7 pillars. She has prepared her meat, and she has mixed her wine. She has also set her table. She has sent out her maidens. She cries from the highest places of the city, "Whoever is simple, let him turn in here." As for him who is void of understanding, she says to him, "Come eat some of my bread, drink some of my wine which I have mixed. Leave your simple ways and live. Walk in the way of understanding. One who corrects a mocker invites insult. One who reproves a wicked man invites abuse. Don't reprove a scoffer, lest he hate you. Reprove a wise person, and he will love you. Instruct a wise person, and he will still be wiser. Teach a righteous person, and he will increase in learning. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. The knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For by me your ways will be multiplied. The years of your life will be increased. If you are wise for yourself. If you mock, you alone will bear it. The foolish woman is loud, undisciplined, and knows nothing. She sits at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city to call to those who pass by, who go straight on their ways. Whoever is simple, let him turn in here. As for him who is void of understanding, she says to him, "Stolen water is sweet. Food eaten in secret is pleasant." But he doesn't know that the departed spirits are there, that her guests are in the depths of Sheol. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I have been in situations where I have tried counseling people who I thought could use a little wisdom, and it didn't work out so well for me. So I can hear that. Acts chapter 18. Here we go. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth. He found a certain Jew named Aquila, a man of Pontus by race, who had recently come from Italy, and his wife Priscilla, because Claudius had commanded all the Jews to depart from Rome. He came to them, and because he practiced the same trade, he lived with them and worked, for by trade they were tent makers. He reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath and persuaded Jews and Greeks. When Silas and Timothy came down from Macedonia, Paul was compelled by the Spirit, testifying to the Jews that Jesus was the Christ. When they opposed him and blasphemed, he shook out his clothing and said to them, "Your blood be on your own heads. I'm clean. I am clean. From now on, I will go to the Gentiles." He departed there and went into the house of a certain man named Justus, one who worshipped God. whose house was next door to the synagogue. Crispus, the ruler of the synagogue, believed in the Lord with all his house. Many of the Corinthians, when they heard, believed and were baptized. The Lord said to Paul in the night by a vision, "Don't be afraid, but speak and don't be silent, for I am with you, and no one will attack you to harm you, for I have many people in this city." He lived there 1 year and 6 months, teaching the word of God among them. But when Gallio was proconsul of Achaia, the Jews with one accord rose up against Paul and brought him before the judgment seat, saying, "This man persuades men to worship God, contrary to the law." But when Paul was about to open his mouth, Gallio said to the Jews, "If indeed it were a matter of wrong or of wicked crime, you Jews, it would be reasonable that I should bear with you. But if there are questions about words and names and your own law, look to it yourselves. For I don't want to be a judge of these matters." So he drove them from the judgment seat. Then all the Greeks seized Sosthenes, the ruler of the synagogue, and beat him before the judgment seat. Gallio didn't care about any of these things. Paul, having stayed after this many more days, took his leave of the brothers and sailed from there for Syria, together with Priscilla and Aquila. He shaved his head in Centuries, for he had a vow. He came to Ephesus, and he left them there, but he himself entered into the synagogue and reasoned with the Jews. When they asked him to stay with them a longer time, he declined. But taking his leave of them, he said, "I must by all means keep this coming feast in Jerusalem, but I will return again to you if God wills." Then he set sail from Ephesus. When he had landed at Caesarea, he went up and greeted the assembly and went down to Antioch. Having spent some time there, he departed and went through the region of Galatia and Phrygia, in order, establishing all the disciples. Now a certain Jew named Apollos, an Alexandrian by race, an eloquent man, came to Ephesus. He was mighty in the scriptures. This man had been instructed in the way of the Lord, and being fervent in spirit, he spoke and taught accurately the things concerning Jesus, although he knew only the baptism of John. He began to speak boldly in the synagogue. But when Priscilla and Aquila heard him, they took him aside and explained to him the way of God more accurately. When he had determined to pass over into Achaia, the brothers encouraged him and wrote to the disciples to receive him. When he had come, he greatly helped those who had believed through grace, for he powerfully refuted the Jews, publicly showing by the scriptures that Jesus was the Christ. I find that so exciting, just putting myself back into those days and just all the traveling back and forth. The Bible has fantastic maps of their travels, and this was no easy thing. It wasn't like they just, took off for 30 minutes down the road and went and, preached somewhere. They were on boats. They were doing a lot of walking. They were had to stay with somebody for a year and help make tents. And it's, I don't know, it's pretty amazing. Psalm 53. All right, closing it out. Here we go. This is for the chief musician to the tune of Mahalath, a contemplation by David. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt, and they have done abominable iniquity. There is no one who does good. God looks down from heaven on the children of men to see if there are any who understood, who seek after God. Every one of them has gone back. They have become filthy together. There is no one who does good, no, not one. Have the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread and don't call on God? There they were in great fear, where no fear was. For God has scattered the bones of him who encamps against you, who have put them to shame, because God has rejected them. Oh, that the salvation of Israel would come out of Zion. When God brings back his people from captivity, then Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. What a fun day for me. I hope you enjoyed today. Go ahead and do a little extra searching on YouTube. Check out the maps. Check out the tabernacle. There's some really good stuff in there. It's fun for me to read and use my own imagination, but sometimes the visuals, really make it stick. So anyways, have a fantastic day today, everybody. Please, if you like this channel, do me a favor and subscribe and like and share. Please do all the silliness because it helps the channel to grow. And if the channel grows, there are a lot more opportunities. I can start up a community channel. We can go live and chit chat with each other. I cannot do any of it without you guys hitting those buttons. That's how it goes. So anyways, have a great day and we will see you tomorrow.